Hey guys, Danny Johnson here, and today we're going to be looking at this brushless drill driver from DeWalt. Now, it's not a hammer drill like the other one, but this one does come with a bag, two 20-volt batteries, and a charger. So it's a nice little setup, 20-volt max, lithium ion, so it will be a nice drill. And I will be comparing it and showing you side by side to another drill that I have that has a few more options. It is a hammer drill compared to this one. So just kind of going to show you side by side the size and everything like that. So we'll go ahead and open it up here, and what you'll notice is it's wrapped up inside of its bag, so it just slides right out of the box. And the bag is a nice little carrying bag. There's nothing too wrong with it. The straps are a little thin, but it folds out into a nice size bag for carrying it around. You can put a few more items in here that would also fit, a few drill bits and kits like that. Inside you have, of course, the owner operator manual. And as you'll see here, it will cover multiple drill drivers that they have. So some of the options that it talks about you may not have on your drill, and it does it in different languages. There's also another paper in here with other warnings and things that you can go ahead and read through. But next, we have the actual drill driver here. It comes just barely wrapped in a bag. So we'll take that off. And the first impression is that it's a little smaller than I thought compared to my other one. And I'll show you side by side what I mean. It also had a lot of plastic up on the front nose on the keyless chuck part. And you'll notice there's a few options missing. It only has 2 speeds. And at the very front ring, where you kind of select the torque rating, which is what these numbers are, that's about it. It just has torque ratings with one screw indicator, and then there's no outer ring, which I'll show you a comparison as well, kind of what I'm talking about. But it gives you the model number here on the side, so it's always good to have that information for things that you might need to know. And so also in the bag, you're going to have the batteries, also the charger. And my first thought was, wow, this charger is a little bit smaller than the other charger as well. And we'll figure the same thing out here with the batteries. As I got the battery out, I thought, oh, wow, this is one of the really thin ones. So it is 20 volt max. So, it is a nice little battery, lithium ion. We'll have to see how long it lasts compared to the other one. So I'll take one out of the bag here to show you the size, but definitely is a slim one. So here's a look directly side by side. Here's the bigger battery that came in the other kit, and it has the fuel indicator that you push. It'll tell you how much battery life you have left. And here's the other one. You can see the difference here. It's probably at least half the size, if not less. Both of them are the 20 volt max, and so as you can see, no indicator on the other one. But anyway, probably still going to do the trick for smaller things. They give you 2. They probably should have just given you one bigger one. But then the chargers, you can definitely see the size difference as well, one being bigger than the other. But what is nice is it does have model numbers and item numbers on all these, so you can compare them side by side if you want to do the research to see what exactly the difference is. But one clearly is a little bit bigger than the other one. So here's what they look like plugging them in to charge. It's pretty much the same thing. And I was curious how they would light up, and they light up the same. So while these charge, I'm going to give you a side-by-side comparison to this other one, which is the DCD 985. So this is the bigger one that came in the big pack of 5 tools that I did a review on, and I'll put the link to that in the video description. But it's definitely a different drill. It's not even the XR, but you can see this one is a hammer drill on the left compared to our new one here that we opened up today. And just looking at them, first off, you're going to see that the chuck here, the keyless chuck, is plastic on this one. This one, it's metal. And then you have different settings as well that this one's missing. So we'll look at these a little bit more in depth here and show you. But basically, the way that you set the torque rating is by twisting it like this, and then it has this outer ring as well that also twists to give you the hammer drill option and some others. So that one has quite a few more options, goes up to a higher torque rating compared to this one. But for smaller projects, you probably won't really notice much of a difference. Side by side, this is kind of what they look like as well. You can definitely tell a size difference. You're getting a much smaller compact drill with the one that we're reviewing today compared to this bigger one. And maybe that's good for you, maybe that's bad for you. It just depends on how hard you're going to run this drill, if it's just something for around the house or if you're using it every day as a construction worksite drill. So right here on the top, again, you're going to see that this one here has 3 different settings for speed. This one has 2, so not too big of a deal, but just something to mention. Also, okay, we're going back up to this. This can go up to 21 on its torque rating and have 3 different things here. This one here only goes up to 15, and then it does have 1 screw option here. So definitely a little bit lower on the options. When you compare it to the 985, you can definitely see you got the hammer drill option and some others here. So definitely depends on what you're doing. It depends on price difference, if it's worth it to you or not. But this one definitely does have a few more options, and the clutch here goes up to 21. So definitely something to consider if you're going to be way into the drill or if you're just going to use it for household projects. And the weight difference is definitely apparent when you put on the battery. So now you have the smaller drill with a smaller battery. It definitely weighs and sits a lot smaller than the other one. So if you want something super heavy duty and bigger and heavier, get the 885. If not, the 777C2 here does pretty well. And so you can see the keyless chuck here. It's plastic, but it works okay. And then the 2 different speeds here. And it's not always a bad thing. When you go to the 985, that metal chuck, you almost want to be wearing gloves. It is, you know, a little more rough than the plastic, of course. It's a little heavier duty. But anyway, the 985 definitely, you can feel a difference in it. It's going to be more powerful, bigger batter drill. When you go onto the website to try to compare them, it doesn't really give you side-by-side specs. It would only give you RPM and everything of the 777. It didn't really say much for the 985 on the specs as far. I don't know if they do that so that you can't compare them side by side as much, but it gives total output, and it even does those in different metrics. I mean, for example, here on the 985, it says max power is 535. And then when you go to type in the 777C2 and you look at its specs, it has an output of 340 watts out. So you're assuming that that is the same metric. And also switching over from the 777 and the 985, it's going to tell you the 777 is brushless, so it has a longer lasting drill motor. But I don't know that that's going to be apples to apples comparison when you're talking about a much better drill with the 985. And one other small thing to mention is that the 985 came with the belt clip. It's not really that great of an option, but it does have it. And I was a little skeptical about it. I kind of jumped around with it, and it does stay on okay. But you're not going to get that with the 777. But it does have the place for you to screw it in if you do want to add it. And so it'd be something very simple to pick up if that was important to you. So anyway, that's today's video with the 777 on the left, and just kind of shortly comparing it to the 985 on the right. You can definitely see hammer drill on the right versus smaller drill, and definitely different heft to them, different options. But just wanted to show you that so that as you're comparison shopping, you can make a decision. And so anyway, if you enjoyed the video, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and check out the playlist in the video description where I have my other videos like this. And again, I'll put a link in the description where I got the 985 along with the other tools that came in the big package. It was a really nice kit. So thanks for watching and stay subscribed.